The last honest streamer from Golf Cart.
For whatever reason, the internet loves the spectacle. The bigger it is, the louder it is. The more expensive it looks, the better it performs. Look at the top of Twitch right now. It's flooded with million-dollar mansions.
I think that we as a whole in the streaming sphere are in this new generation that for the past like 3 years we've been like IRL streaming only. Like all the IRL streamers, the Jason the Weens, the Stable, I mean, we're looking at Stable Ronaldo. The IRL streaming has been a thing. It's been a great thing, but I think it's low key starting to kind of die out. You know what I mean? I think it's starting to really drop down in viewership and drop down in like relevance, and like our Jinxies, our, you know, our Quesos, our Joe Bartolozzis, where it's sitting at a desk and doing content at the desk is coming back. Because I think it's a lot more grounded and you're able to sit here and really interact a lot easier than, you know, IRL streaming. I think that that's kind of where we're going. And Queso is a large part of that. I mean, he's blown up, and I'm sure this video is going to talk about that, but I think that we're going in the direction of being back behind the desk. No bad things about, you know, IRL streamers, but I think it's really changing.
Everything seems to be built around the question, how much money can we burn on camera? And then there's this guy. Queso is interesting, because on paper, he's doing almost everything wrong. His production quality is kind of garbage.
Queso, where'd he come from?
Dude, I've watched a couple Queso streams, and I watch a lot of like his videos and shorts. Dude, it's so funny. The like just doesn't give a shit about production quality. So like it's really interesting to see how Case was able to just be like, hey, I'm going to play this game today. I'm going to have a great time and interact with my chat. And I think that's so cool. And I think that that really helps in the content creator sphere to know that it's available to anybody. Plus, his personality just adds to it.
200,000 viewers playing Fall Guys yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't even zoomed in or cropped.
His setup isn't designed to be some massive content machine. Half the time he's live, he's playing some random game most people have never even heard of.
Your costume sucks.
Those are honestly the best games, though.
I mean, when your entire job is getting
the
people
small
to watch
indie games are the
you
best.
don't turn down a Mr. Beast video, but Queso did.
Queso did not respond to my message.
And somehow, despite doing the opposite of what the internet tells creators they're supposed to do, he's still one of the biggest streamers on the planet.
I think that's so interesting. Him saying no to Mr. Beast, by the way. I think that's so cool. I mean, it's not like an ego thing either. It's like, it's not what he wants to do. And I've seen him talk about that he doesn't want to go do these large shoots and stuff. It's just not who he is as a person and not his personality type.
The answer is that none of this should have worked, because Queso's had the odds stacked against him since day one. Case Baker grew up in rural Arkansas. His hometown has a population just over 1,500. It's the kind of place where Walmart makes the front page, and where the churches outnumber the stoplights. Towns like that don't have a lot going on. So, as a quiet kid, Case did what quiet kids in quiet towns have always done. He disappeared into a screen. In this case, a PlayStation. Call of Duty on repeat. And when YouTube started blowing up in the early 2010s...
Well, I was born in a small city in northern Arizona. I was born like an hour and a half away from like Grand Canyon, I guess, maybe 2 hours. And it was a quiet area, and it was pretty desolate. Like if you go there today, it's pretty desolate and it's pretty empty. And like growing up, like it was like, oh yeah, you go to the gas station for fun. You know what I mean? Or you go to like the same bowling alley you've been going to for the past 20 years of your family's lineage here. You know what I mean? And yeah, as a kid, I was a massive gamer. I played a lot of games. I sat in the living room and played on the TV, Call of Duties and everything, you know, or go upstairs and play Minecraft on my mom's laptop. That definitely should not be running Minecraft because it's just so old. So like that small city life is very different from like living in the city where it's like, oh yeah, you can go do
He was right there watching
go anywhere at any time.
Optic guys,
especially in Arizona. There's fucking nothing to do in northern Arizona. There's nothing. There's genuinely nothing to do.
Built something that didn't exist a decade earlier. He watched gaming turn from a thing you did after school into an actual career.
Well, how does this sound? Making a living and even a small fortune just playing video games.
The biggest names were clearing their parents' annual salaries in a single weekend. And after watching that, it became Case's dream job.
So that's weirdly enough when I first told my mom about that I wanted to do YouTube and like wanted to do more specifically that I wanted to sit at a desk, play games and make money off of it. This video, I showed her this video. Stories from the Battle Bus, which is Booga's like story about how he won the first World Cup. Yeah, the first ever solo Fortnite World Cup winner. I sat down and I put this on the TV with my mom and I had her watch it with me about like him going through his story, you know, of like playing these games and really, you know, having this drive to play games and make it his job. And that's when what I showed my mom. And I told my mom, I was like, I think that I'm at the level of skill and dedication and commitment that at the time I was good at Fortnite and I was good at a lot of different, you know, shooter games. I think I can, you know, I really do. And it was peak COVID time. And I was like, you know, what does it take to not have to work a day job, to sit at a desk and all that? And it's like, okay, well, I need to spend this amount of time. I need to, you know, put all this effort into playing these games and really nailing down what it takes. Cause it's not just like, oh, I boot up the game and I make $400,000 like Nate shot, you know what I mean? Right here. Yeah, and I remember she was super supportive. And this is 6 years later now, and it's like I'm sitting here. I'm able to do this as my second job. I sit at this desk. I mean, I make no money here, but this is still my passion. I'm still overwhelmingly committed to sitting at a desk and taking you guys along my journey and taking you with me and putting you under my arm of, hey, let's make this, you know, my dream. Because like, yeah, I've seen like Joe Bartolozzi. He's like, he never dreamed of being a streamer or anything like that. He just did it because he liked it, and now it's his job. You know what I mean? For me, it's been always felt like it's my destiny. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's where I'm supposed to be for the rest of my life. I've saw nothing else. Oh, no. That's a lie. I've seen other things because I did engineering. I went to software engineering. I did a lot of that stuff. So I've seen other avenues. But the one thing that keeps on coming back is I've always had the urge, okay, I kind of really want to make videos. I want to start streaming. I want to do this. I want to do this. That has never left my head. And now that I'm able to, I'm sustainable enough financially, and I live on my own, and I live 14 hours away from all of my family. I am in the position that if I don't do it now, it'll never happen. It'll never happen.
The problem was he knew the odds, especially in his situation. His Wi-Fi was barely good enough to even watch YouTube. Uploading to it or streaming on Twitch, he graduated high school, bounced between jobs, 6 years of clocking in somewhere he didn't want to be, 6 years of watching other guys his age blow up online doing the exact same thing he'd given up on. By the end of it, Case was broke, burnout. He was one
That's
bad week.
Queso? I've only ever seen him with a hoodie on. I've never seen a photo of. He's actually a good, like, he's like a strong dude. You can see that muscle. He's actually a, like, bulky is the wrong word because people think that bulky means fat. I mean, he's a bigger guy. He knows that. But like, that's a pretty good build. Like that's a good build.
Week away from walking into a recruiter's office and signing up for the military. Then his mom stepped in.
He's going to go into the military? I could not see that.
Why not take a real shot at the whole streaming thing? What's the worst that happens? Now, streaming is one of the most competitive jobs on the planet. And if you're like Case, trying to pursue it full time...
That's where my mom was, is when I told my parents a couple months ago that, hey, I'm really going to give my all into this streaming thing, they've been super supportive ever since. And they're in the chat room right now. You know what I mean?
You need to understand. There's levels to this.
Okay, 3 levels
Level 1, you can quit your job. Level 2, you're living large.
Level 1, you can quit your job. I think that there should be a level 0 where we're at, where I can't quit my job. There has to be 4 levels.
And at level 3, you're the top 1% of the top 1%. Now, there's no direct translation from Twitch viewers to money. So for the sake of the example, we're going to say you reach level 1 at around 100 viewers.
Okay, that's when you hit level 1.
You can take the leap to streaming full time.
I think that level 1, if you're going to hit 100, he just said it, that you can go full time. I think if you have 100 consistent viewers with like 1,000 new eyes a day, you know, with people rotating in and out, I think that that's sustainable. I think that you can be a full-time streamer with 100. Absolutely. We have, I think, like average, like 15 average viewers on YouTube and like 4 on Twitch. I think that 100, 100%, 100%. Because even if only a portion of them, if only a portion of them subscribe,
Which getting there sounds totally reasonable. It's not. Somehow convincing 100 people to watch you live is brutal. In the past year, 18.4 million people opened up Twitch and broadcast
18.4? I thought it was 8.
Live on the platform. I want you to guess how many of them actually made it to level 1. Seriously, throw a number out there. The answer is 165,000. That's less than 1%. For every person who gets to level 1, there's 100 that don't. Every big streamer you see today spent days, weeks, if not months streaming to an audience of 0. I mean, take Jinxie for example. He streamed to just 5 viewers.
Jinxie is one of those streamers that, like, if you ever feel like you're not going to make it, Jinxie is such a great influence of being like, hey, you have to sit through the mud for so... Chat, we say this every single stream. I've been streaming for 8 years. 8 years! And I'm still here. And I'm still fucking trying. And I'm still putting my all into it. 8 years of my life.
For a year and a half before he ever made it.
5 viewers, he's grinding.
And I'm throwing all of these numbers at you
5 viewers
on
Twitch is a
because
great
without
number.
them, you wouldn't understand how truly insane what happens next is.
Because in like 24 hours, y'all took me from nothing to crazy.
You see, Queso hit level 1 in the first hour of his first ever stream. And
first ever stream, he hit 100 viewers? Why?
Just get lucky.
How did he hit 100?
Hey, y'all came through deep from the top, man.
In the days before he went live for the first time, Queso was already laying the groundwork. He spent days filming and editing clips of him playing NBA 2K23. And on September 10th, 2022, he uploaded 22 videos to TikTok.
Oh, so he did the TikTok method first before ever streaming. I wonder how that could have benefited. Because we upload one TikTok, one short a day. We just uploaded one like an hour ago. We upload one a day right now to kind of keep it moving.
Next morning, he woke up to over 10,000 followers and a comment section.
That's crazy.
So that night, he went live for the first time and the floodgates opened.
When I look down and I see 126 viewers, bro, I cannot believe it.
From that day on, he followed the same routine. Clock into the 9 to 5, hit the second job, cut a few lawns, then come home and stream until he couldn't keep his eyes open.
That's what we do. I'm at work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every single day. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every single day. And then I get off work at 4 and I come straight home. I make my thumbnail and we're live at 4:30 until about 7:30 every single night, other than Saturdays because we stream earlier on Saturdays like today. 7:30 when I end stream, I go straight to the gym until about 9:30, come home, make dinner, edit a short, go to bed. Tomorrow I'll repeat the same thing. 7 a.m. to 4, 4:30 to 7:30, 7:30 to 9, and then 9 to 10 editing shorts for tomorrow. There's no social life outside of streaming, chat.
I don't want to go sleep, man. I don't want to go to work, man. I want another build, dog. All I want to do is make builds and play 2K forever. Why do I gotta go work?
True. After each stream, he'd find the best moments, clip them, and fire them back onto TikTok. The loop fed itself. Inside a week, he'd blown past 100,000 TikTok followers.
In a week?
Every stream was pulling 500 plus concurrent viewers.
Dude said, call the boss, quit, this your life now, cuz? Dude, imagine.
And the number that actually mattered, he was making more money streaming at night than he was at his day job.
No, y'all literally just donated more than I make in a week.
Night streams is realistically the best time because, like, if you stream in the morning or whatever, everyone's at work, everyone's at school. So, like, I used to stream in the morning so I would work at night, and it just never worked because everyone's at school and work. You know, it just doesn't work. But him streaming he streams till like 3 a.m. sometimes.
Night, bruh.
But Queso kept his head on straight. What shows up overnight can also disappear overnight. So before he quit his day job, he needed proof that this wasn't a fluke. So he made a deal with his chat, hit 5,000 Twitch subs, and he'd quit his job.
That's a good metric to hit. That's a good metric.
It's a day we gonna remember forever. You know I love y'all, man. Thank you, bro. It's all y'all, you feel me? Thank you, man. Full-time Queso in the building, and I'm laying in their mouth, too.
Within just a few weeks, it was a done deal.
5,000 subs. What year is this? 2022? 5,000 subs is like $12,000 a month off of subs alone. It's like $12,000 after the split, just about, maybe 11,000 after taxes in a month, plus ad revenue, plus sponsor, plus donation. Oh my gosh.
Case's fan base was new but dedicated, and they wanted to see him pursue this thing full time.
Like I said, I've been dreaming of wanting to, be a streamer, a content creator since I was 13 years old. I took the leap, bro. I finally took the leap, and y'all came through for you, boy. For real, y'all came through crazy.
Now, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows from here. His internet was still garbage, like genuinely bad. Streams would lag or even just end because the connection bottomed out.
1 megabit a second?
And when you're trying to build an audience, that's the kiss of death. If your stream ends, they move on to the next. Eventually, numbers started slipping. For a couple months, it looked like maybe the whole thing was a fluke. Maybe the bubble had already popped.
You know, I seen the numbers when I very first started. You know, the hype was there because I first blew up. Had like 800 viewers every night. Then y'all seen it dip to like,
This is his interview with Jinxie, right?
I was like, I gotta do something different or it's gonna go under.
Then he picked up a different game, Hogwarts Legacy. It was kind of a
that
weird
is such
choice.
a dead game.
It had a totally different audience from the 2K crowd.
Hogwarts Legacy, I booted up once and I thought it looked cool, but ultimately no one plays it anymore.
But he streamed it anyway, clipped a moment, and posted it to TikTok.
Well, I see the sun peeking through the window a little bit. Sleep schedule gone now. Gotta make Hufflepuff proud, though. Hey, it is what it is, man.
That one video alone pulled in over 18 million views.
I've never seen that clip. 18 million?
Just like that, he's back. Viewership climbs to 600. Keeps climbing. Month after month. Every week, another clip going viral. Another wave of new viewers funneling straight into the stream.
I told y'all, I'm
The snowball was rolling again. Queso was averaging over 2,500 viewers, a legitimate name in streaming culture.
If you don't know who he is, you gotta be living under a rock.
And this is level 2. At level 2, you're starting to live large. You're in big boy money territory. At this
I think if I'm making $5,000 a month on stream, I think that that's making it. I think making it $3,000 a month is making it. That's 1,000 subscribers on Twitch. Just about. That's making it. 22. I mean, I'm sure it's still climbing, but 22,000 in 1 month. I mean, I guess you also do have to take into account that there's going to be months that you don't make that exact same number. But
point, you're not going to bed afraid the whole thing vanishes overnight. Queso was sitting somewhere just inside the top 1,000 streamers on Twitch. Incredible by any measure, but remember, Twitch is stacked top heavy. And when I say top heavy, I mean it.
But like, it's not all about money. I think so many people, like, I know that he's talking about work and stuff like that. It's not all about money at the end of the day. You also have to love this shit. And I think Queso is that streamer of he loves going live. He loves interacting with chat. He's so overwhelmingly inviting. And that's like what I think streaming has like died off over time is I think a lot of streamers aren't like that anymore. A lot of streamers don't give a fuck about their chat. I mean, you can go on Twitch right now. You know, I'm not gonna name names, but there's people that won't read chat once, won't say anything to chat once, or not interact whatsoever. This is a community that you build here. You guys are watching me spending your time with me, when you could be doing a lot of other better shit, but you're still here. This is a community, and it's like, I don't understand streamers like that. Queso is not that type of streamer. Queso is the prime real estate of what it means to be a streamer, a people streamer, a community streamer.
Given moment, there are about 3 million users on Twitch watching content. When you break down the viewer distribution by channel rank, the picture gets pretty clear. Out of the millions of channels on the platform, the top 250 pull over half the viewership. That's the difference between level 2 and level 3. While it seems like the easiest jump on the ladder here, it's actually the most difficult. There's a specific blueprint nearly every streamer has followed to make this jump. Here, I'll break it down for you. What you're looking at right now is 5 of the biggest streamers on the planet. Each at the moment they were averaging exactly 2,500 viewers.
This is when they were averaging 2,500. Ninja, bro. That doesn't even look like Ninja. Aiden Ross. Speed. Is Speed streaming out of a fucking sauna? Where is he at? What is this corner that he's in? Kai Sanat watching a YouTube video in his house. And XQC just playing Overwatch as per usual. That's when they were averaging 2,500 viewers? The streaming market has changed entirely.
Pay attention to the setups. None of them are exciting. The rooms are pretty basic, the camera quality kinda sucks. There's no production value. They look like what they are, just guys streaming from their bedrooms. Now fast forward to when those same streamers are pulling 10,000 viewers a night. Everything's changed. The lighting's dialed in. The camera...
There is a massive difference between 2,500 and 10,000. But I think at 2,500 viewers, that is what I would expect out of like the environment. Speeds is a little bit different because he's still streaming. It looks like in the same exact fucking room, same exact lighting, except in a different angle. And it's just one mod and like one prime person and stream elements typing in chat. I expect like a room like that or a background like that out of at 1,000 viewer Andy.
Are crisp. The rooms look intentional. This is the blueprint kicking in, and it all starts with one realization. At this level, streaming isn't just a job anymore. It's a business. And like a business, the goal is to make as much money as possible.
I don't think... Okay, my brain doesn't separate the two. If I'm going to call this a job, it's my business. And I guess maybe that's just my intuition of like entrepreneurship and like dream. But like, if I'm going to call this my job, it's my business. It's my brand. It's me. It's not just like, oh yeah, I stream and I call it a day. No, this envelops me. How can I get better? How can I get bigger? How can I make larger things? How can I host an event? Like, it would be my dream to host like a fucking Streamer Awards. Like, I talked about this the other day. It's my dream to host an event like the Streamer Awards. Like, genuinely to host an event. And I know the magnitude size to host an event like the Streamer Awards. Give so much kudos to Cutie Cinderella for doing this. But it's my dream to host stuff like this. You know, that's what I want in life. I've hosted events in the past though,
for whatever
so maybe that's why.
Craves a spectacle, and the spectacle game is pretty easy to play. You've kind of just got to spend money to make money. The setup is just the start. Next comes the move to LA. Buy the mansion, drop the I just bought my dream car video. Hire a dozen editors to pump out clips around the clock. By the time you're clearing 50,000 viewers, it turns into an optimization race. Every stream, every upload, every second of content is engineered to milk the cash cow. The longer you stay on the top, the more efficient it becomes, and weirdly, the more the internet praises you for it. But the spectacle only works if people are still looking. relevancy is the whole game. The second,
like Mr. Beast? No, not to the scale. Mr. Beast, we actually talked about this, I think, either yesterday or the day before. Mr. Beast makes phenomenal size content, and he does some really cool things. But I think that Mr. Beast's stuff is so substantially different from what I want. I want community-based events and activities. I mean, it would be cool to do YouTube videos like where it's like doing experiments and doing like, you know, those challenges and stuff that Mr. Beast does, which he just uploaded one, surviving in the Arctic. That stuff's cool, but I don't think that that's the content that I want, and I don't think that that's the direction that I want. I want to host events that my viewers can come hang out. My viewers can come, you know, do stuff where it's like, oh yeah, you know, like the Streamer Olympics that Ludwig hosts, where it's like, yeah, we have all these streamers that are, you know, doing, you know, the Olympics, and people are invited out to come watch and stuff like that. And that's what I want. I want to be able to do something that you guys can show up, that people that like me like the event. You know what I mean? And that's not just you know, I trap these people in a circle, which, I mean, kudos to Mr. Beast. And I have a lot of respect for the size and magnitude that Mr. Beast is able to put out and what he does, but not Mr. Beast scale. No.
to stay visible. You hit the podcast circuit, Impulsive on Monday and Blank on Thursday. You show up to every mainstream streamer event. You become a permanent fixture in the conversation because the conversation is the product. And the fastest way to stay in the conversation is to stand next to someone bigger than you. Take those same 5 streamers and pull up.
I think that that's ultimately the wave. I think that that's the wave, is that you kind of, it's not even like leeching. You have to know somebody in the streaming sphere. Because like you guys are here and we'll have a couple new viewers every once in a while. But ultimately, we're not growing. You know what I mean? We're not growing. And I think that what causes that growth is like, you know, when you know people. It's like, yeah, you can't leech off of it, obviously. You can't leech off of be like, oh yeah, I'm playing with Kai Cenat every single day. But it's like
All time. Ninja, Fortnite with Drake.
Take notes, bro. Oh, dude, I have so many notes. I have numerous notebooks.
Ross, the Donald Trump interview. Kai Cenat, the LeBron stream that pulled over 1 million concurrent viewers. That's the blueprint. I'm not necessarily saying it's bulletproof or guaranteed, but it's the safe route. Every streamer who's made it to the top 250 has run some version of that exact
There's been people that play with like Ninja and like you don't know their name anymore.
Book based on constant evolution, but Queso ignored this approach altogether. His strategy is quite literally the opposite in just about every possible sense. The last time we talked about Queso, he was fresh off of Hogwarts, averaging 2,500 viewers. So let's run that same comparison from earlier and fast forward to when he's at 10,000.
There's such a massive leap between 2,500 and 10,000 viewers.
Not much has changed. I mean, sure, he did buy a new house, but he moved from a trap house to a trailer just across town. Either way, at the end of the day, his computer monitor is still being held up with a vacuum cleaner.
Why?
If I don't have the vacuum cleaner holding up the back of the monitor, it'll fall over. And then
It's like
back here are my
$20.
PCs. You can tell they're being held up by books as well.
And the camera
Why?
quality seems to somehow have gotten worse.
Chat, my stream quality is actually so crispy. It looks like it's in 4K.
Since Hogwarts, he's
No, it doesn't. I mean, I know that he's making a joke, but
continued
that's
to
funny.
stream
That
4
is
to
really
6
funny.
nights a week. Same time, same chat, rotating through whatever random games he feels like. Supermarket Simulator, Granny, Dress to Impress.
I want to play Granny. I want to play Granny. Not a great freeze frame right now, but I want to play Granny.
It's this? Why is it on my front page? Playing it.
Games a normal person wouldn't think to stream. But then you watch for 5 minutes and you start to get it.
This is the funniest dude on the internet right now.
Just plays the most random games.
407 and Marcel talked about Queso. That's cool. That's aura, bro. If 407 and Marcel, basically I do work, are talking about you, that's aura, bro.
Chat isn't there for the games. They're there to watch him fall out of his chair for the 10th time this month and narrate it like he's describing a car accident.
Yo, that almost killed me. Oh! Yo! Chat!
Bro fell out of his chair.
Is dead, dude!
To watch him get jump scared by a horror game and scream at a volume that blows out the mic. And that's why it worked. By January of 2024, Queso was averaging over 50,000 concurrent viewers every single night.
Like, my mind is weird. Like, in my mind, I still don't have the thought of, like, I still made it. Yeah, because in my mind, I feel like if I have that thought and tell myself that I made it, you don't want to get, like, lazy. It's going to go downhill. Yeah. You know what I'm...
that's ultimately like what I tell people so many times. You can't get complacent. You can't get complacent. And I had this conversation with my mom, and I know I'm pausing a lot, but that's kind of like why we're here, is so that we can react to stuff and give my input. I know I'm pausing a lot, and I apologize. That's what I think is, if you're not gonna get, how do I say, if you're gonna get complacent, you've given up. You're gonna stop trying. You're gonna stop getting better. You're gonna just be like, well, I already made it, so why put more effort in? I think complacency is what kills everything, and comfort kills everything. And I was talking this with my mom, and I just said that I am not getting complacent. I'm not backing down. I'm not like, oh well, the streaming thing is gonna end because blah 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 blah. That's not what it is. I told mom, I was like, if I have to go drive to the middle of nowhere to where I can get service, I'm gonna stream, from the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna stream out of a fucking storage unit at a shipping area, like rent a storage unit and stream out of a shipping unit, you know what I mean, before I give up. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. And like Marlon talked about that he used to do that. He'd sleep on the streets and then, wake up and stream IRL. It's like complacency creates comfort. Comfort kills growth. Killing growth kills your career and kills your future. And the day that you tell yourself that you made it, you became complacent. And there will never be a day. It doesn't matter if I'm making $1 million a year, I'm not going to become complacent. I don't are you kidding me?
By every metric the industry actually uses, Queso is underperforming.
I don't care. I don't care if I'm making $10,000. Well, I care if I'm making $10,000 a year, because like, can I pay my rent? But like, I have to be able to live my life, obviously. But like, if I'm scraping by where I currently am, you know what I mean? Like, I make enough money that I can live, but I'm not making money, you know what I mean? At all. If I can sit here and call this my job and be able to live my life and make content and be able to tell you guys that I am happy, I made it. I made it. I made it.
He's leaving growth on the table at every possible turn. He doesn't invest in new setups, he doesn't upgrade his gear, and has no real plan to optimize himself. Every analyst will tell you he could be twice the size he is if he just ran the playbook like everyone else.
Oh, 100%.
Honestly,
Queso's at like 10 million subs right now. He could 100% be substantially larger if he were doing these Mr. Beast collabs and stuff like that. But that's not Queso. And so many people are like, well, why don't you? That's more money. It's like, that's not him. That's not who he is.
Probably right. But here's the thing. Queso never looked at any of that and felt like he was losing something. Buying a house in the hills, pulling up in a supercar, collecting all the things that say you've made it. None of that ever seemed to be important to him. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things. A lot of creators go in with exactly that goal in mind. But Queso sits in this rare category of someone who actually reached the I made it moment and genuinely doesn't want it.
It was never about like being huge, just like, because it didn't matter the money. I just wanted to do what I loved for a living. I could be, pinching pennies to make it, but as long as I get to stream every day instead of go to work, I was cool with that. Yeah.
But to be clear, it's not like he's allergic to money. He's the #3 streamer on Twitch. The guy is doing just fine. But there's a difference between making money and squeezing every last cent out of your audience. He's never done any kind of subathon. He doesn't say yes to every brand that comes knocking. He doesn't manufacture
Pizza
drama to give the numbers a little bump.
Dude, if I get a sponsor with like if I get like a Taco Bell sponsor or some shit, that would be so cool, bro. If you're ever going to see when you see sponsored segments or partnerships, stuff like that, it's brands and things that I believe in. What it is.
You can't leave money on the table if it was never what you sat down for.
Some of my most favorite jobs I ever had were the jobs where I was making pennies. Yo, I'm not even finna lie to y'all. I think y'all just donated more than my week's paycheck in one night. I'm talking
and that's
about
crazy.
Sitting in the parking lot of the dollar store, having to call my mom, be like, hey, can you spot me $50 for food for the rest of the week?
That's my dream, is like retire my parents, and if they get bored and they just want something to do, I'll hire my parents. As that's the dream. To be able to say that is so cool. I think FaZe Rug also, well, not FaZe, but I think Rug also does that.
You know what? I was happy. Like, if I could turn this into something and just be able to do this with y'all every day, that'd be a dream come true. Yeah, I was broke, but it was all right because the job was cool. Dude, I'm not worried about Twitch ad revenue. I would rather people have a good viewing experience than make an extra, whatever a month.
So that's the money half of the blueprint. The mansion, the supercar, the optimization strategy. But the blueprint isn't only about money. The other half of the blueprint is relevancy. The streaming world has a short memory, and the way you fight that is by staying in the conversation. Podcasts, events, collabs, it all comes down to the same idea. Stand next to someone bigger than you, and you get to share some of their spotlight. Well, if you thought he was underperforming on the money side of the blueprint, just listen to this. In 3 years as one of the biggest streamers on the planet, he's done exactly one traditional collab. Jinxie.
What's the furthest you've ever traveled?
One collab in the years, and he has 10 million. That's crazy. That completely overwrites what like all of those like self-help. This is how you be a successful YouTuber streamer. I'm not gonna shell out this, that, do this, that because it's what a guru online told me to do. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make the content that I believe in, that I support, and that is ultimately serious and ultimately Cameron.
Florida, and that was one time to go to Jinxie's house.
And that collab is almost word for word.
Dude, I would love to do a mukbang stream. Even though I don't like that and I don't eat fast food, I would love to do a mukbang. That'll be fun.
Existing footage of Queso outside of his own house.
My friend brought this up yesterday to me when we were chilling. He said it's crazy that Jinxie literally has the only recorded footage of me outside of my own stream setup. Like, he's the only one that's got me out of my room.
Matter of fact, it was the first time he'd ever left the state he was born in.
So this is the first time you've ever been out of like Florida or out of Arkansas? Yeah. Wow.
It's just, I don't know, I'll be getting home.
That's crazy.
I get away from home for too long. I'm just, man, I don't know.
Over the last 3 years, Queso has won 5 different awards.
And the Streamer Award goes to...
Queso!
Queso!
He hasn't shown up to a single one in person.
Mr. Beast tweeted you? Oh, yeah, I talked to him, yeah.
That's cool, though.
Mr. Beast video due to fear of airplanes.
Oh, he's afraid of it. That makes sense. That makes sense.
According to the blueprint, all of those things just come with the territory of being in the top 1%. But Queso is avoiding all of it. And when you stack it all up...
The fact that you turn on Mr. Beast is actually crazy. It is crazy, but ultimately also just Queso. That's just the content that he made, you know what I mean?
Not going to award shows, turning down the collabs, even the fact that he's only left the state of Arkansas once, you start to wonder if there's more to it than just not caring.
Chat, I didn't tell y'all this, bro. When I was changing setups to go from the trap house into the trailer, I was literally a mental wreck for like a week straight. Because I don't know.
He looked out of a trailer? Is that where he's at right now? No, that's a house. That's not a trailer.
But dude, I have like some form of horrific OCD that I've had for years, that if something even minor changes, I'm gonna die.
People hear the word and picture someone who just likes things clean and organized. And while that can be a part of it, that's not exactly what it is. At its core, OCD is anxiety. For Queso, moving into a new house meant moving into an environment that was full of variables his brain hadn't had the chance to map out yet.
Like when I take my hat off and put it on the counter, same spot every night. If it goes in a different spot, I'm dead.
Everything becomes unpredictable. And for
I guess I just get annoyed if something's not where I want it, I guess.
Someone with OCD, an unpredictable environment is one thing that can't be controlled. Each unknown stacks on top of the last until his brain is sent into overdrive.
Chat, here's some lore for you. Every time I would leave to work in the morning, I would go outside my house and I would have to check that my doorknob was locked 37 times. I would have to start my drive to work, take a block back around to my house, and check it another 11.
Okay, so that sounds a little bit extreme. I have that problem every single day. I have the problem. I have the biggest fear that I left the stove on, that I left the kitchen sink on, I left the bathroom sink on, or I didn't lock the front door. Every single day when I leave, if I go to my phone gallery right now, I have photos that every single morning when I leave for work at 7 in the morning, I take photos of my stove. Like every morning after I make my breakfast, because I make my breakfast in the morning, I eat eggs in the morning, I have to take a photo of my stove to prove that it's off. And there's days that like, if I forget to take a photo or I leave without taking a photo, I'll get to work, which is like a 15-minute drive, and leave work, come all the way back home, open the door just to make sure that my stove is off, and then go back to work. That happens to me all the time. Like, it's bad. It's bad. And then, like, my front door, anytime I lock a door, I'll lock it, and then I'll try to open it like 10 times. I have to jiggle the door handle like 10 times every single time. It's been a thing that I've had for years. And there's days that like I was at school and I'd have like an anxiety attack, and I'd tell my mom, I have to go home. I think I left the fridge open. Like there was days that I'd be running late to school and I'd still turn around, go back home to make sure that I closed the fridge.
And then
it's bad.
Which explains why his setup has barely changed over the years.
Same thing with like this, because you guys are on a camera. Every night, because my bed's right here, obviously. When I go to sleep, I have to put the lens cover on. I have to tilt the camera up and make sure it's turned off. Like, I get so paranoid.
It's his rules at his pace, all in an environment that makes him most comfortable. But that need for predictability doesn't stay contained to his house. It follows him everywhere.
I went out in public 3 times in a row. I got recognized all 3 times. I never went outside again.
I feel like Queso, like that's like Queso's extroverted on camera, and I feel like in person he just wants to live his life. It's like I feel bad for the guy.
People, bro, came up like, hey, dude, I was about to pass out, man.
Outside of that room, he controls nothing. Who's around him, how they got there, whether someone grabs his shoulder before he sees it coming. None of it is up to him.
I don't go out in public. I don't. Never.
When he's at home, it's easier to manage because, well, he's in his own house. But in public, there's no way to make the unknown stop. It's not only uncomfortable.
That makes sense, and that makes sense, and I think that that's the biggest problem with like Queso. Like he's this guy that just wanted to play games, and that's it. Just want to play games and make it his life, and that's cool. He got so overwhelmingly big that like now he has the paranoia and the concern of like going out because like he may live in a rural town, but I can guarantee people have stream sniped him and like have gone to where he lives. You know what I mean? Like 100%. Like it's streaming.
Never seeing me in public. That's how rare it is. No joke.
The blueprint says the path forward revolves around a constant state of evolution. The more you change, the newer things are, the more excited people are to watch. But for Queso, that path has never really been accessible the same way it is for everyone else. And yet, here he is.
Literally almost 1,000 away from 10.
Oh, this is his cooking stream. I remember watching his cooking streams with his mom. That's so cute. I would love to do that with my mom.
This is a moment.
I want to do cooking streams sometimes.
Behind everything, the awards, the numbers, the journey from a rice mill to the #3 spot on Twitch, almost nothing has actually changed.
You definitely gonna do this full time? Hey, I hope so, CJ. That'd be a dream come true for you, boy, man. Maybe my parents don't have to work no more either. That'd be a dream come true too, bro.
Bro,
He's been grounded in the fact
we're like this, bro. Queso's my long lost brother, chat. Queso, man.
that streaming was never about being the very best. It was always about building a life worth living, for himself and for the people he loves.
Wait, Mom, we're about to hit 10 million. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. We're about to hit 10 million! No way we're actually
That's so cute. Him and his mom are awesome.
We hit 10 million, baby! Let's go! 10 million on YouTube!
That's so cute.
His mom was there before any of this made sense.
She brought me some balloons in here! Yo! She brought me some balloons! Balloons!
You can't see it!
Get a pose in there with it.
Before all of the awards and money, before tens of thousands of people were waiting for him to go live.
That's like, me and my mom are so close, and I was a mama's boy growing up, and I still am. I'm 21. Like, that's so cute. Like, I want to be able to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's so fucking cool. I have so much respect for Queso and Queso's mom. Yeah, Queso's mom right here, yeah.
Was the only one who pushed
That's awesome.
him to try
I would
streaming
love
first.
to break, like, when I go to LA in a week and a half, you guys are going to see my parents, however much they want to be on camera. I'm not going to force a camera down their throat, but like you'll see, like, I'm so close to my parents. So it's like, for me, like, it's not even like I want to be a streamer for myself necessarily. It's like, I just want to be able to make my parents proud. I just want to be able to retire my parents. My dad is way too old to be working the job that he's doing. My mom, her job is way too physical for her. I was almost not born. You know what I mean? Like, there was a couple times that I would have died before I was even born. You know what I mean? It's like, and I was a C-section baby and I was a week late. It's like, there was a lot of complications with my mom's pregnancy with me. So it's like the type of shit. My dad was military during wartime. My dad served during wartime. You know, my mom was a police officer, not a police. She was a corrections officer at a prison. You know, like one of the worst standoffs in U.S. history at a prison was at my mom's prison when she worked there while she was pregnant with me. I just want to retire my parents, and that's it. Then I'm sad. I just want to make them proud, and like I know they're proud, and I know they love me, and I know that they're happy for everything I'm doing. But it's like it's hard.
Diamond play button! You've had this? What?
Dude, he got a diamond play button before he was even at 10 mil. That's cool.
And you know who else it wouldn't be possible without? My mom. Come stand in front of the camera. Look at that.
That's adorable. That's
and
adorable.
his dad, the man who spent his whole life doing the kind of work nobody claps for.
My dad, for example, like, dude, his whole life just working. He's had multiple back surgeries.
Yeah, my dad did construction. After he retired from the military, he was in the Army and National Guard during wartime, and then retired out when I was born. He's been doing construction and blue collar ever since. And like the type of shit he puts his body through, like I am so overwhelmingly concerned for all the time. And like he works in, I think it's negative. No. I think it's past freezing, where my dad works, in a freezer. He works in a freezer for 9 hours a day, and my mom works in 115 degrees Fahrenheit every day. My parents don't deserve that shit. I used to work there too. It sucks.
Wrist surgeries, multiple
They don't
foot
deserve
surgeries,
that. They both
all
work
from just working his whole life.
Indescribable conditions.
The man he watched and worked alongside with do it with no complaints.
I worked with my dad, and we were both maintenance men. Maintenance ain't easy work. You know, you're crawling under sinks, you're changing.
Yeah, my dad was a
you're
laborman
crawling
as
up in
well.
attics,
Maintenance
you know, all
man.
that,
He was
just nasty.
The same man that taught him how to work was eventually the one who told him to quit his regular job and do what he loved.
I remember the night we hit 5,000. I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna call my boss. I remember I got him to call because I was scared. Like, hey, boss, you know, I'm playing video games for a living, but it'd sound better coming from my dad because, you know, my dad was essentially like his right-hand man. Yep. But, yeah.
There's so many things in my life that I told my parents. I'm like, hey, I don't know how to word this. I'm like, can you say this for me?
So when streaming became a reality, he made sure that the two people who spent their lives building him up never had to work again.
That's Queso's dad? I've never seen Queso's dad before.
What has been like the most fulfilling thing that you've run into in your career?
Just that everybody gets to chill.
Yeah.
And they have to get away from the jobs they hated and everything like that, and we can all just chill and do this. That's the best thing. I was gonna say they're retired because they do, because you know they don't want to just chill and do nothing. They do a lot of stuff for me. Like my dad, if I need something to go get or something, he goes and gets it. My mom handles all the background, like all of it.
If you ask Case, that's the whole story right there. In a world where overnight success has a way of quietly hollowing people out, Queso never let any of it change him.
The only thing I want to be is a place for people to go for 4 hours a night, forget about life, you know, crack some jokes, you know, have a good time, and just chill out.
And that's why this story isn't over. Queso has already crossed the line that mattered the most. He turned his dream into real life. He helped his family stop working. He became the place he always wanted to be for others. So whatever happens next is just
his community is so incredibly dedicated to him. He has such a committed community.
I've been dreaming of this since I was a kid, bro. Y'all for real low-key making dreams come true, bro.
Queso's community is a dime a dozen. I'm gonna be so real with you. Queso's community that he has is definitely one of those things that like is so hard to get, where it's like, yeah, he has hate, and like that's gonna happen, but like he's in such a phenomenal spot comparatively. It's so cool to see out of Queso.